The rise of narcissistic femfluencers and influencers, and what this is going to mean for content creation going forward. Before we get into the video, I just want to talk about the inspiration behind this entire topic because we don't steal content around here, and I always give credit where credit is due because I would want someone to do the same for me if they were inspired as well. Everyone starts to get influence from somebody. Everyone is someone's muse. Okay, that's just the way art works. Now, I got this idea from Strawberry Lolly, and I don't think anyone else has done it or talked about this topic in quite an eloquent way as she has. And I very much would like to appreciate you if you ever see this video, girl, for the idea. And let's go ahead and get into it. I will be looking at my notes off camera, but basically this is the idea that influencers, myself included, they are all trying to sell you something at the end of the day. Everything is perfectly curated to convey an idea. Everything is a perfect setup or a certain aesthetic that will help their brand image. Okay, so your faves might not necessarily have your best interest at heart, especially if they are very brand conscious. Now, what does that mean? You are online scrolling and you come across a video that is giving some sort of, inspiration or advice or level up advice, that sort of thing. I kind of do a lot of this too. You can use this information and look at me through the lens of the information I'm telling you, just like Strawberry Lolly mentions that we all do this. Okay, I'm not trying to hide anything. This is just the rules of the game. Now, you're scrolling on social media and you come across an influencer or someone who appears to pretty much have it all together, right? They just look effortlessly beautiful. The camera's set up perfectly. Everything just looks crisp, clean, and perfect. Now, your subconscious bypasses all of this, but we are drawn to things that look bright, attractive, or, engaging. And what is engaging? Something that's pleasing to the eye. A lot of the influencers know this psychological truth. And so the information being provided may or may not be painted by that foundation, which is brand consciousness and being focused more on the aesthetics first. So, and this is very important to think about because if you are constantly consuming loads and loads of content on, level up, on self-improvement, self-help content like that, and you're not vigilant about what is actually coming out of their mouths or what actually is the focal point of the video versus someone who just looks good and is saying words that may not necessarily be beneficial, but it's helping the brand, then that will help you to avoid getting stuck in a rut. Will help you to avoid getting unnecessarily manipulated. I mean, to an extent, we are all manipulating each other. That is the laws of human nature. We're all doing it, whether we realize it or not. But this can help you avoid getting unnecessarily played by your faves who claim to just be one of the girls. Because at the end of the day, when you're putting yourself online in front of a mass audience like this, we are very aware of perception. Okay, it is what it is, especially when you are seeing yourself on camera like every single day. It's just something that comes with the job and the profession. Now, you need to understand that this is a full-time job. It is a full-time job to keep up with the aesthetics, to keep up with the content, to keep up with all of that. And I think Strawberry Lolly even talked about some, of the higher ups, this is all alleged, going to hotels, literal hotels, to film, so they can preserve their image. versus, filming somewhere else, because that might not help the appeal of their overall video. When what should be the focus, and unfortunately, with the rise of, and I talked about this in is the pretty privileged video, with the rise of the importance of being perceivably attractive, more focus will be put on the aesthetics of the video versus the actual content. If you're not careful and you get played, you end up paying like thousands of dollars for some of these coaching packages, selling you ultimately a dream, because they don't really have your best interests at heart. They're trying to get gain. They're trying to achieve a monetary mass amounts of gain at that point. So it's very, very key to keep this in mind as you consume content online more and more every day. Just remember that there is always an ulterior motive with anything in life, not just online videos. Everything and every interaction in life, make sure that you're using discretion, and just kind of think twice before someone presents information to you, because at the end of the day, intentions can easily be concealed, especially in a pretty package. Would it be nice if everything that was being said was definitely to your benefit and your benefit only? Yes. But at the end of the day, this is still a business for a lot of people, and some of them unfortunately start to get distracted by the promise or the illusion of, monetary gain, fame, status, that, and will by any means do what they need to do to get there. And that's unfortunate, but it's just really great to have people like Strawberry Lolly bring up this topic to the forefront of our attention, so we can just kind of keep that in mind as we go about our lives. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, but I did want to conclude that be careful of, the narcissism led content, where it's just things, empty words essentially, that sound really good but aren't really helpful in the long term. We have to think of how this applies to our life, for one. For two, why might this influencer be making this? Are they also struggling with it too? Or are they just sort of doing this because they know it's what people want to hear? And also, what I also like to do is take notes on videos that you are interested in, so that you can better see what the main idea might be. Because a lot of times it's hard to focus when there's aesthetics and video involved too. And so just taking notes might also help to alleviate some of that fatigue that you get, to be able to consciously break down what you are actually seeing on screen. So that's just my little take. But I don't think this should deter you from the sector of improving your life. That is the beautiful part about the internet, is that we have a mass wide range of information at our fingertips to change our lives right now, today, if we wanted to. And that's probably the most beneficial thing of the technological life that we live in. While there are negatives too, the negatives can be diminished if we hold these ideas like this video at the forefront, and just, like I said, be vigilant about the way we go about getting this information. That's all. Common sense, and it will take you a long way when it comes to the type of things that you encounter now in the digital age. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, definitely be sure to like or share with a friend if you thought that this philosophy or concept was interesting. I film a lot of other videos like this, and I'm kind of on a roll right now, so just be on the lookout, because I will be committed to providing the best type of content that I can for both you and me as the creator. I hope that you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them below. Follow me on my socials below at TheAlyssaJen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.